Hey gang, and welcome to another new Animal Crossing video. I am Crossing Channel, and the month of July is almost upon us in Animal Crossing New Horizons, which means it's time for some returning and brand new seasonal items which you can only get for a limited amount of time from the Nook shopping menu. For those of you who like to collect new items and don't want to miss out on any of these before they disappear from the game until next year, you'll definitely want to check this out so you can get a hold of some of these really cool items which are only available in July. I'm going to be going over all the details you need to know about them within this video, so let's get straight into this. For our first item, we have one that's returning from last year, the bamboo grass for the Tanabata holiday in Japan, which is from July 1st to July 7th in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, this cool little item is celebrating the Japanese Star Festival, and it's just incredibly cute. This is one of my absolute favorite seasonal items. It's a really great item from Japan, and basically it has on it a bunch of different little pieces of paper which contain people's wishes, and you can interact with the item like you can see my player doing, so you can check out all of the different characters' wishes. Now, what's really interesting is these wishes seem to represent characters around your island, the different personality types. It seems like there's a different color for each personality type, which is really cool, and then there's also one for some of the special characters as well. I really like this item. I think New Horizons can always do with more interactive ones that actually, have more of a purpose than just looking pretty. And this one does look really pretty as well, don't get me wrong, but I'm really glad that it has some functionality as well, and it's just cool reading everyone's different wishes, because you can honestly go through quite a few of them. So yes, you have from July the 1st until the 7th if you want to get this item in your game. It doesn't matter what hemisphere you're in, you can get it as long as you log on and you check out the Nook Shopping app, or Nook Shopping, of course, via the Resident Services terminal. Definitely a cool one that you want to get, especially if you didn't get a chance to get it last year. We didn't have as many seasonal items last year when the game was still, in its first year, but now we're seeing a lot more, so it's good to see this one come back, and it's one of a few items in this list which is actually returning from last year. But don't worry, we're just about to go on to some brand new ones, which is incredibly exciting. For our next one, we have one for Marine Day in Japan, which is available from July 8th to July 22nd. And this is an item which actually exclusively goes on your door. It's called the Ship Wheel Door Decoration, and personally, I think it's my favorite in this entire list. This one is really cool. Now, Marine Day or Ocean Day, it has a few different names in Japan, is basically a little holiday that is kind of celebrating the fact that Japan is an island nation, and it's also kind of appreciating the sea for what it gives to Japan. So I think it's really cool they added this one into the game. I like it. I didn't think about it myself. It never really occurred to me that they could add this because I'm not from Japan, so I wasn't actually familiar with this holiday. So it's really cool to actually learn about it myself through this item. And I always like it when they add new door items and door decorations to the game. I think that's really cool. This one definitely looks really good, especially if you're going for a nautical kind of theme or maybe a pirate theme. This one would work really well. I just put it on Lily's door because I couldn't tell where to put it on my island, but I could actually see this going on my own door at some point as well. Especially if you have a house that kind of looks like a beach hut, I think this one would actually work really well. It's kind of similar to the pirate items that Gulliver gives you. I know he gives you a ship wheel as well, so it's definitely very similar and could work well with those. But the only way you're going to be able to display it is either inside your house on the walls or on a door outside. A lot of people seem to forget that you can actually give these door items to your villagers and they'll display them on their doors. So if that's something you've never done before, I definitely recommend doing it, because those doors look a lot more interesting when you've got a huge variety of different items placed on them around the island. So yeah, this is a very cool one, and like I mentioned, you have until July 22nd to get it from July 8th. So both of these items that I mentioned already are coming quite early into July, which is definitely exciting. Next, we have a clothing item, which is the Phrygian cap, and this item is from July 10th until July 20th, and basically it celebrates Bastille Day in France, which is basically kind of commemorating a turning point within the French Revolution, which is really interesting. I personally didn't expect them to add an item like this at all to the game, but it's fascinating that they've done it, because it actually could be a really good kind of educational resource for some people who aren't so familiar with the French Revolution. Now, clothing items are always nice to get, and although for a lot of people this item might not be so appealing just because it is a hat, I do think it's very cool, and again, I always love seeing items which celebrate different cultures and such. It's really interesting to me to learn more about what these items actually represent, and I think this one is a pretty cool one. Now, if you don't like the color blue, don't worry, because this item actually comes in a ton of different variations. There is a red cap, an orange one, a green one, a blue one, and also a purple one. So your friends could all get together and wear this hat. Sadly, the outfit I'm wearing, which is the Sprite outfit, isn't actually part of this. You only just get the hat. There's no outfit, which I found very strange because I'm pretty sure there are some Phrygian outfits as well, at least when I did a short Google. So yeah, it's kind of unusual to me they decided just to add the cap, but it's very interesting to see them kind of celebrate Bastille Day in Animal Crossing, something I definitely wasn't expecting, but as I said, it's a pretty cool item. So like I mentioned, you have from July 10th to July 20th if you want to get your hands on this item yourself. Next, we have the Rodeo Style Spring On, which is an item that is returning from last year. This is available from July 15th until August 15th, so you have a whole month. And this is the only item going on until August, which will bring me to a very interesting point soon within this video. This celebrates the Cowboy Festival, which is a Brazilian cowboy holiday, and I really like this one. When this one was added last year, it was definitely a bit of a surprise to me. It was kind of more of a reskin of the other ride-on items that we have, so it's not the most exciting item on this list. It's not completely original, but I do like it all the same, and it's really cool. I personally love cowboys. What can I say? Yeehaw, you know? So I really like this item, and I just wish we could ride on these or sit on them or anything. Why Nintendo? Why not? Even if we could just see our villagers do it, you know, like in Pocket Camp, they interact with a lot of different items. Even if we could just see that, I'd be completely happy. So I literally don't know why they haven't programmed that in for this game, because it would make a lot of sense. But yes, like I mentioned, this is available from July 15th to August 15th. So if you want to get your hands on this item, make sure you get it before that date. Of course, many of you might already have it from last year. It is a returning item, not a new one, but it is still pretty cool. So, with the last item being available until August 15th, and that's already an existing one, technically the content for this latest 1.10 update, the late April, May update, the new content for it technically ends on July 20th. So I definitely think around that time we will be seeing the next update to add more seasonal items for the game, which of course I will definitely make a video about so you guys can know what all the upcoming seasonal items are. Now, they may choose to add some new ones, I hope they will, but there's definitely a lot that they need to program in for the month of August that we don't have yet. For example, there is the Hikoboshi and Orihime outfits, which are available from August 1st until August 31st. So they definitely will have to program those in for August unless they want to skip out on them, which I personally can't see them doing. So yes, definitely the content for this update, new content at least, ends on July the 20th. But personally, I think it's possible an update for more seasonal items and stuff like that could happen before the 20th, because one single hat technically isn't new content if we're being real, so it would be interesting to see what they're going to plan to do with seasonal items going ahead. But I'd love you guys to let me know in the comment section down below what you think of these items. I'd also want to mention really quickly that I found it interesting they didn't celebrate the 4th of July event happening for America in this game either. That was something that I found definitely strange, because it was actually celebrated in Animal Crossing before. In the original Animal Crossing game, there was a fireworks event which happened on the 4th of July, which obviously coincides with the American Independence Day. So the fact they didn't have any items for American independence was kind of unusual to me. Just to be clear, I'm not American, so I'm not really sure what types of items they would add. But I guess because they already have the fireworks festivals in the game, they feel like they don't need to. It's definitely really interesting, and I'd like to imagine what types of items they could have added. But yes, like I mentioned, I'd love for you guys to let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of these items, and if you made it to the end of the video, be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know you did. You can also subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more Animal Crossing videos. If you want to help support my channel, click the join button down below the video.